Hi, my name is Sybil and welcome to my channel. This is my very first video, so please bear with me. I know that the audio is a bit off. I've tried fixing it. I don't know how to fix it, so I'm just going to roll with it, and I really hope that you guys will be able to roll with it with me. In the video, I'll be talking about self-isolation, self-isolating, and how I'm currently coping and dealing with such a stressful, such a weird, and possibly such an anxious time. Well, it's been anxious for me anyway. I'll be talking about the techniques that I'm using, the strategies that I've put in place for myself, the things that I've been doing now that I've got so much free time on my hands, and coping mechanisms as well. And I'm really hoping that this might be able to help someone else in the process. So I'll first start off by going through what I would do, which is making sure I have a routine and a schedule put in place. Now that I don't have work and I don't have something where I'm like, okay, this is the time I need to get up, or this is the time I need to go to bed because I've got so and so the next day, I've made sure that I've put the groundwork in anyway and made sure I've made myself have a set time I go to bed and a set time I wake up. I do this not only to make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep, but to also make sure that I don't really undersleep or oversleep and make the next day go to waste. I want to make sure that the day ahead is positive and productive. So I always make sure I've got a routine with sleep, but in doing that as well with the next day, I have a set plan in place of what I'm going to do. So I always think about it the night before, and because of the person that I am, I love to-do lists. So I make a to-do list of all the things that not only I need to get done, but I would like to get done during that day. I have a time frame, and I also have a set idea of or chore or whatever it is in that time frame that I would like to get done. It is an only estimate time frame because I don't know how long things are going to be, how long things are going to take me to do. And then I cross them off as soon as I get them done. This just makes me feel like not only have I been productive during the day, but I get some sort of accomplishment and achievement out of getting things done and ticked off that to-do list. It also makes me feel like I'm not just wasting the day away, because it could be so easy to just slip into a habit of watching Netflix for 8 hours a day, or being on social media, or whatever it is that you do where it just feels like you've wasted the day. And if I did that, it would make me feel like crap and just not productive and not like I've achieved or accomplished anything. And then that way I'm also not getting kept busy. And I feel like making sure you kept busy during the day is one of the things that would be really good for your mental health, especially for someone like me who does suffer from anxiety occasionally, where I'm trapped with my thoughts and thinking processes. So I'll get into that a bit later of other strategies I use to help cope with that. At the moment, I also want to add in, not only is having a routine really important, but also making sure that you are kept busy during the day with things that you like doing, things that you would normally do in your free time. And now that you have more free time to do, now that you have more free time, you can actually spend more time doing them. So for me, one of them's writing. I do a lot of writing, and then I've been being able to do that now that I've got a lot more free time on my hands. Reading, I've had to do a lot more of that too, which is really great because it means that I'm one of those people that end up buying more books than I actually end up reading. So now I can actually get on top of that and I'll be able to read more. I love to also do some photography. So I haven't really been able to do much of that because I like to do that more on the outside where you get into nature and all that and experience new places. But it's still really good for me to just get out and just spend, a couple of times in the backyard or whatever, just picking up on little tricks here and there. And I've also been able to pick up other things that I've wanted to learn to do. So I picked up learning a new language, and I'm getting around to the part where I learn an instrument, but that is on the to-do list of things to do, and I will get there. But yeah, just picking up things that you might not necessarily have had the courage to do before, or you just didn't have the time to do. Now's a really good time to pursue those. And you never know, they might turn into passions later on. Or they could just be a new great skill set that you've picked up along the way. Another really important thing for me is practicing self-care. So this thing has been for my mental health mainly. Someone who deals and struggles with anxiety, this can be such a very turmoil and stressful time where there is a lot of unknowns. There is a lot of stress about income or what's going to happen, how long is this going to go for. And you spend a lot of time in your head. And so I'm going to tell you things that I've been using to like help me practice and deal with this. One of the main things that I've been doing is meditating. I have meditated in the past, but now that I have a lot more free time, I've been trying to meditate so much more, especially when I'm feeling a bit more anxious than usual, because it does help ground me, and it helps me to remember the present, to be in the moment, to be in the here and now, and to remember that these are just thoughts. They're stuff that you can't control, and there's no point worrying about something that you can't that you can't control, and that aren't really controlling you in this moment. So it helps keep me grounded. Another thing is with meditation, mindfulness and gratitude come into play there as well. So I always try and remind myself of what I'm grateful for, that I currently have, that I'm lucky to have, that other people might not have. And then also just being mindful, again, which comes into gratitude, being mindful of the things that I can control or the things that I do have. So I feel like mindfulness comes into two plays with meditating, remembering the here and now, and also remembering what I do have and what I am grateful for in my life. Another thing that has really helped me as well, which comes into play for both, not just keeping myself busy, but for my mental and physical well-being, is making sure that I get active, making sure that I go for walks or go for runs, and that I do it at least once a day. Not only is it so important to be able to get fresh air and like breathe in some oxygen, because when you are self-isolating, you're confined to essentially just four walls surrounding you. So being able to go out and get some fresh air and be able to take in some vitamin D and that sun on your face, for me, it helps me not only because I'm getting that physical exercise and I am making myself feel a bit better about keeping fit, because I don't get the luxury of being able to go to the gym now, which I normally would after work. So just make do with what I got, and just being able to walk around the block and getting some fresh air and some vitamin D has really helped my mental health as well, not just my physical health, and making sure that I'm enjoying the moment again, like being present. Another thing that I think is really, really important as well is making sure you stay connected with those that you can no longer stay connected with. So that's your friends, your extended family, the people that are really close to you in your life, people that you love, people that you would normally be able to see or hang out or socialize with, that you can no longer do that because of social isolation. So FaceTiming them or using an app or whatever it is that you do to be able to still catch up with them is really important, to make sure that you still stay connected with those that are important to you, to also check in with them and make sure that they're going okay, and just to remind yourself of how lucky you are with the people that you have in your life. Another thing that is also really important to remember is to always ask for support or for help if you are really struggling. If you feel like there's no one else you can turn to, There are support services out there that are willing to help. Please don't be afraid to speak up. I know personally how hard it can be being on your own and being left alone with negativity, negative thoughts, negative mindsets, negative feelings, and feeling like you've got no one to turn to. Please don't forget that you are never alone. There are people out there that are wanting to help and wanting to support. Please, if you can take anything away from this, is to make sure you guys look after yourselves. I've spent so much time reflecting and analysing, and I've just spent this time working on myself. And also, I find that journaling has really helped as well. It's just a really good way of putting all your thoughts and all your feelings down on paper so you can look back at them and be like, it's just a way of reflecting without having to process it all internally. I would really love to hear you guys, your feedback in the comments below if you want to leave a comment. I'd love to know what you guys are doing to help yourself in this situation or to help others. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me in this video, and I am looking forward to talking to you guys soon.